I'm so glad you're here in my bed for my little ASMR show, where it is my job to help you find calm and relax and maybe sleep or maybe study. And especially now in these quite difficult, trying, anxious times, I feel like it's a privilege if I get to help maybe just one person to find a bit more calm and inner peace and relaxation or sleep. And I really hope that you and your loved ones are doing fine. And before we start, here's just a short preview of what you can expect in this video.
That should be enough to get you ready for chatting up and dancing about. Or at the very least, loosey-goosey enough to offer me riveting conversation and lively debate. And in that very spirit, who the hell invited you?
Hey, Supernova and Olive. Oh, it's changing dramatically. Olive taking a big lead here out in front.
Alright, that's cool. Not a lot of people are able to work the double shifts though. So
I think that we followed all the plans correctly.
And there you have a nice cross-section view of the Whopper.
If 20% of them need hospitalization, which is about what we know from China and Italy, that's still going to vastly exceed the capacity of our hospital beds.
I thought I would start off this video by showing you two of my favorite videos this week. One intentional ASMR video and one unintentional ASMR video. So my favorite unintentional ASMR video this week has been an Asian lady doodling. I think she's Chinese, but I'm not entirely sure. Basically, she has been doing videos for a long time. She's a bit crazy in a good way. I have seen her dancing on her channel around with street musicians and so on, and I like these kinds of people. And in this video she's basically just doodling on some sketchbook paper. She's telling some stories, and also she starts singing some kind of familiar tune, which is pretty beautiful at some point. So I wanted to show you some moments from this video.
Hello dear friends, we have a piece of paper, so we plan to do some doodling. So maybe first you get a piece of paper, just practice some idea. It can be quite intimidating if you are in the class, if you are drawing something according to the teacher's instruction or drawing something. Everything can turn out to be something, so do not worry if it is not what you want, because you do not know what you want actually. And this is which grade? Second grade class, I remember. Yeah, I think it was second grade, 6 years old, or maybe first grade. Let me rethink again. Dun, dun, da, da, dee, da, dee, da, dee, da. Da, da, dee, dee, da, 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 dee, da, dee, dun. Da, da, dee, da, dun, dee, da, dee, dun. Da, dee, da, dee, da, dee, da, dee, dun, da, dee. Not very much you can do. You need to work hard on this, I think.
The second video is an intentional ASMR video from Good Night Moon, a channel I didn't really know before, but the video is a 1920s party chatter video where she is talking to you and she has this amazing costume. There's this old school music in the background, And this video doesn't really have that many triggers, but just the costume and the cool props really are amazing. And I was thinking she maybe does this more often, like cosplays or whatever. So I like this a lot, and I would like you to check out this channel. It's amazing.
Hello, darling. When did you get here? And since when have you been hiding in the cloakroom like a wee dormouse? The same amount of time precisely, I would venture to guess. That should be enough to get you ready for chatting up and dancing about. Or at the very least, loosey-goosey enough to offer me riveting conversation, lively debate. And in that very spirit, who the hell invited you? With the singular exception of that time, word got around awful quick that Mrs. Millie Baker was cavorting with Miss Emily Baker's ex-fiancé. Quite the scandal. I did used to work as a makeup artist backstage at the Grand. On the dancers. Yes, I had 1 hour to take 15 girls from State Street hussies to screen sirens. Every last one of them was mad about Lulu Brooks. Do you remember Lulu? Oh, goodness. Give me Lulu's lips, Lulu's hair. I tell you, I was terribly tempted to tell those girls that Lulu's favorite treat was toads, and they would have gobbled them up like chocolates. The best mascara. Lucky for you, this is the virgin run of this particular batch. Fresh brush, never before touched. And a fresh cake, still neatly wrapped in parchment paper, sticker and all. I hope you feel entirely honored. So, I'll be placing the cake, the tin, the video, the other side as well. The other side as well, not neglecting a single look. Perfect, and then look up for me. Good. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. It never ceases to amaze just what a difference lashes make. Then, as a finishing touch, what would you say to a bit of perfume? Well, first, let's ensure you're a fan. Have a whiff. Do you like it? It's quite warm and sweet. Vanilla, fresh, starting at your collarbone.
I thought I would start off with a bit of a light-hearted segment because that's something we really need right now, I feel. We read so many negative news coming in all the time, and it can really drive you crazy. So I saw lots of cool, creative and funny content come from people who are quarantined, because I think now at least 1/3 of the world's population is quarantined. I think that's more than 3 billion people or something. No, 2 to 3 billion people. That's insane. And I think in our history we maybe never had such an event that encompassed the entire world almost. Like everything is involved, not even the world wars basically had all of the world being affected by it. So it's maybe also encouraging, because we as a human race can fight this together and get through this together if we help each other out. But in any case, there's been lots of cool people, probably people being kind of bored at home, being creative and having great ideas. And one of them was this guy making marble races. He basically creates different parkours for these marbles, and he even does some commentary. He uses wooden blocks and he has different marbles racing against each other. And I actually also did enjoy the marble sounds, kind of unintentional ASMR-ish, so I wanted to show it to you.
Here they go. Dark green and red are currently in front, followed by olive. They're on track 1 currently, and into track 2. now taking the lead, followed by red and yellow as we make it to track 3. This is the biggest track of them all. We have green and red out in front, followed by the rest of the field. One. Okay, Supernova and Olive. Oh, it's changing dramatically. Olive taking a big lead here out in front, followed by Yellow and then Creamsicle. And Yellow's trying to take a lead, and he does, going into track 3. Here comes the rest of the field here.
The cool thing is I went a bit into like a rabbit hole of marble races, and I found a cool one, which is a marble race in the sand, which maybe you've seen already.
Down they come, and a pretty good start for Dragon's Egg. Getting out in front, red number 3. Boy, talk about needing some redemption. Started on the last row in the last race and ended up on the sand, never crossed the line. Now they come back. Bottom 5th of this course. A bump from behind. Dragon's Egg goes low. Thinks about going high. No, stays down there. That was the faster line the first time through, and Dragon's Egg is going to come across in front of Quicksilver. Rastafarian still held on to 3rd place, and red number 3 picked up 10 valuable points back in 6th after a goose egg in the first race. 2 DNFs this time around. Grasshopper and Marbly McMarbleface did not make it down the course.
And then I found out that there's actually such a thing as Marble Olympics on a channel called Jelly's Marble Runs, I think. It's very intricate. There's like commentators and voices, and it's almost like a real TV production. So in case you're interested, it's amazing what people come up with.
There are a lot of them. Require precision more so than speed. If you set yourself up well, you could pay the dividends a little bit later on. Teams have tried to figure out which marble to put in this race. Did they make the right call? We're about to find out. And we're rolling! Around the first turn they come. Yellop with the lead. Trying to stretch this one out. It's a 2-marble race early with Origin, who gets by into P1. Bolt holds 3rd place as they cross through that white line that marks the end of the first sector. Ooh, and a jaunt off the wall completely stops Yellop's momentum into 4th. Bolt on the outside, fighting with Rojo Uno. Up they come, and the gap has come down quite a bit. What was 3 seconds is now a little under 2. Origin needs to pick up the pace just a little bit, unless he's trying to manage the gap up front. Bolt now sees Yellop behind.
Another pretty cool thing is a guy playing Harry Potter's Hedwig's theme with objects at home, like different glasses, but also different objects like percussion and so on. I think it's quite amazing, and it's just crazy what kind of stuff people come up with if they have too much time. I want you to check it out. And then this one you might have seen already. It's a guy who looks a bit Samoan or something, if I'm not mistaken. He does this crazy dance. It was on Instagram, and basically there's different body parts flying in, and it looks like he's catching the different body parts. It's really funny. I have to show it to you. I will probably have to change the music though, because otherwise I'm gonna get into trouble. But here's the video. And there were also some other versions which popped up just recently, which are pretty funny too. And then finally, maybe the coolest video ever. You might have seen it already because it's hugely popular. It's by a channel called Joseph's Machines. And there's this guy making this super intricate domino effect, basically, which starts by a baby pulling on an iPhone, and then the whole thing starts and everything falls down, and then eventually he gets to eat like a piece of cake. It's just insane, and I thought maybe in times of social distancing that's something we will need to do ourselves, make these crazy machines so we don't have to go anywhere. Apparently, according to the video description, this took him 3 months to make. It's insane, but people are amazing. Alright, let's talk a bit about intentional ASMR. I think it's amazing that in these times that most things don't work anymore. No movie theaters, no restaurants, no stores, no travel, no nothing almost. You still get to enjoy cool new YouTube content and especially also ASMR videos. And luckily creators can still create new videos. Maybe they can't buy so many props because there's nothing to buy, and even on Amazon I tried to order some socks and it took 1 month delivery. But still I'm really happy that most ASMR artists still make videos. Even though I saw maybe a small decline in quantity of videos, lots of great ASMR content in the recent week, and here are some of my favorites. So first, I really liked the video by Fresh Prince. I featured him already in this video about haircut videos. He has a great haircut roleplay as well, or even two. But in this video, he basically conducts a job interview, and he just has the perfect voice, the perfect whispering voice for ASMR. Even though it's not fancy, he doesn't have any props, he has a perfect voice, and he also has some keyboard tapping, which I like as well.
About to go ahead and start with your interview. Let me just get my files gathered up. Yeah, sorry if I was a little bit late coming out here, man. I was wrapping up my last interview. Lasted a little bit longer than I intentionally wanted it to, so yeah. 1 second, okay. So it's gonna be a very chill interview. Just got a couple of questions I'm gonna need you to answer. Try to answer these questions to the best of your ability for me, okay? Yeah, because this job, we offer double shifts. We have a lot of free slots, so we offer double shifts. You can't? Alright, that's cool. Not a lot of people are able to work the double shifts, though. So alright, next question. What do you go to work on the weekends?
Then there's another channel which wasn't really on my radar. It's called Pierre G ASMR. He's actually quite big, maybe in other countries, I'm not sure. But in this video he talks in several languages, and really well actually. So he's really a, what is it called, a polyglot or something. He speaks several languages really well, and I think he might be French even, or maybe from Canada, I'm not sure. But this video is great, it's quite popular, and if you haven't checked out his channel, I subscribed and I advise you to check it out as well. Okay, what else? Fred's Voice has a new video where he builds a Lego Star Wars TIE fighter. You know, one of those classical Star Wars spaceships where Darth Vader flies in as well, and all the stormtroopers, and where the Millennium Falcon is being chased all the time. I wonder if Thor is really into Lego and Star Wars, or if he just does it for ASMR effect, but in any case, it's kind of cute to see this pretty bulky guy create the stuff from Lego, and Lego is pretty cool, so check it out.
Today we're going to be tackling an even bigger creation. No, I expressed in a previous Lego build, I think was when I was doing the X-Wing or the Night Bus from Harry Potter. But I think this is one of those things because it's, I mean, it goes against Lego rules, etiquette, I don't know, that you're not allowed to glue it. The brick should hold it in place and that should be it. But if you were taking, like the people, when you go to shops and you see one of those massive Lego creations, and that's invariably put together and glued by the Lego people, the creators. I think that we followed all the plans correctly, and we did a good job with what we worked with. I mean, there's a couple of little things here and there.
Then also we have Latte ASMR, one of my favorite South Korean ASMR artists, and I think almost one of the most popular ones now. She made a new video, which I obviously had to feature here. It's her basically giving you a face clean. It's not as intricate with thousands of props, but still the sounds are great, and I just like the way she does her videos.
I brought some of the things for you. I have some gloves for just to make everything nice and clean. I've got some cleansing tissue, some Q-tip, and some cleaning solution, brush. First of all, I'm going to put on some gloves. Okay. Does it painful or something? Just a little bit itchy. Good. And I'm going to just remove from your head. Okay, let's see. I'm going to just gently just wipe off your face. I'm going to put this sample on your face well. Okay.
And then as usual, I really love Ephemeral Rift. Another two great videos. One is called The Fast Food Man, where basically he has just several fast food items.
Some napkins. this in half. You can each have half. You'll be able to see a cross-section view of it. There you have it. Okay. Let me cut that in half. And there you have a nice cross-section view of the Whopper. Nice thick burger. Lettuce, tomato, onion, mayonnaise, pickle. Okay. Here's your half. One more bite should do it.
And the second video is super interesting again. It's called Removing Sharp Objects from Your Face, which is one of these crazy ideas that only he would come up with. It doesn't really make those crazy sounds, but still the idea is amazing and just his voice is great. So I want you to check it out, please.
Hello. I'm not sure if you can see me through all of that mess, but I am one of the doctors, resident doctors, here at Arkham Sanitarium. And, well, you were right. You have quite a large number of various sharp objects embedded in your face. Looks like copper cut tacks. Okay, quite a lot of different Sharpies stuck in your face. Okay, well, let's start with this. Screw. Think we can just let me know if you feel any discomfort or pain. No, nothing at all. Excellent. It must all just be on the very surface.
Okay, and then I have a bit of a hidden gem ASMR channel, which I didn't really know beforehand. It's called Oopsie Daisy ASMR, great name. And basically it's a Cyberpunk 2077 roleplay where she basically repairs you and checks you. I guess you're some kind of drone or something. It has some nice effects, really impressive. She has a nice costume and I like her voice. I think it's pretty high quality and I'm pretty sure she's gonna grow quite a bit in the future. And also, frankly, I'm looking forward to the game, so this is why I clicked on the video and I didn't regret it.
About the fourth time, don't you think? Who did this to you? I see.
but don't you usually go to a different territory? Oh, I see. So it's finally happened, huh? Well, in that case, let's do a few tests. What do we start with? Tell me, while looking straight ahead, which of my fingers is wobbling, okay? Does it hurt if I press here? It doesn't. Okay, good. Alright. Move this bit actually. If you don't mind, I would like to comb through your hair on the side here because it's getting to the bits right here.
Yeah, and just for your information, I also made an ASMR video myself, which is a bit crazy. I recently bought a tablet, a drawing tablet by Huion or something. I bought it on Amazon because I thought, hey, I kind of want to draw again. And in this video, first I kind of unbox my new tablet and I make some ASMR sounds with it. And then I go into Adobe Illustrator and I actually draw some Pokemon designs that I spontaneously come up with. And I have to admit, they're not super cute, they're kind of creepy. I don't know, I thought it was fun to make and maybe you would enjoy it as well. Packaging here. Maybe the sounds are somewhat cool. Yeah. Maybe another small leg here. And, or is it a teeth? I don't know. Let's say it's his teeth actually. They're dangerous, man. Whew, that's a big one. Yeah, now he's starting to look like something. Let's just give him something here. I don't know, I feel like he should have something there. A fire Pokemon who's pretty, who has seen some things, and I don't know, kind of a weak Pokemon, kind of a letdown to be honest, because he's stressed out all the time. Then we have Scriv, who, yeah, he's just poisonous all the time and he's an asshole and he eats stuff on the floor and he just basically waits and have you attack him and he's gonna poison you. Is there any of these designs which you like? Because I feel like my chances of being hired by Nintendo aren't that high. I wanted to talk about some ideas for self-improvement, so to say, because many of us are stuck at home most of the time. I think many billions in this world, and I almost feel good about the solidarity of, yeah, working together to end this annoying pandemic. And what I thought is, hey, it's actually a good chance to build good habits, because the best thing we can do right now is not only self-isolate, but also take care of ourselves, of our bodies, of our psyche, and build some good habits and improve our immune systems. And there's basically three main factors to do this. The essentials, so to say: eat well, sleep well, and work out. And I mean, these sound so obvious and we've all heard it so many times that maybe you're kind of tired of it, but still I wanted to quickly emphasize that we can all improve in these areas, and maybe the improvements we make now, we can keep them until the rest of our lives. And I'm pretty sure that there's gonna be good return on investment, maybe even exponential return on investment when you improve these three areas. So I don't want to make it too complicated, but even I learned a lot from reading two books on sleep. The first one is called Why We Sleep, and the second one is called Sleep Solution, The Sleep Solution. And it basically goes a bit into the biological stuff, into the stuff, what happens in your brain, why we dream, some of the stuff we don't even know exactly about sleep, but there's a few tips, a few takeaways that I took for myself. Stuff like go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. That's really key. Try to do that even though you might not work currently. Try to have your room pitch dark if possible. Try to remove noise, and if you can't, just put in plugs into your ear. Generally try to make a pleasant room which is a bit colder. Avoid blue lights just before you sleep, so there's apps for that, and also with your computer the blue light is keeping you awake. And then obviously there's some supplements which you can take, like melatonin or CBD. But yeah, in general, treating sleep like something that's important and not something that you can just skip on is something that will benefit you and your health for the rest of your life. And it's also nice to sleep. The older you get, the more you like sleeping. And you can also take power naps, by the way, which can be helpful, but you don't have to. Okay, the next part is fitness. And many of you probably can't go to the gym anymore. And even me, I can't really go to kickboxing workout anymore. But at the same time, it's definitely possible to continue to stay fit, and we should all strive to do some exercise, some daily exercise if possible. If you can still go out and take walks, you should definitely do it, also to get some vitamin D. But also at home, do body weight exercises. You don't need equipment, you don't need a home gym. I mean, if you have like a pull-up bar, that's nice, but there's really good YouTube channels where you can learn some amazing body weight exercises. There's also good books. And there's one particularly cool channel called Scooby-Doo, I think. Scooby 1994. I'm not sure what the name is exactly, but it's a really tall, pretty goofy guy who is really cool and kind, and who explains all the basic exercises like pull-ups and push-ups and squats and so on. So go check it out if you have no idea how to do exercises at home.
In this video, I'm going to show you the proper form of the push-up. Now, I know this is really basic, but in bodybuilding, basics are very important. And just for fun, I'm going to show you a lot of ways to do push-ups wrong. Let's first talk about hand position. There's a zillion different variations of push-ups with different hand positions. A basic push-up is about with a shoulder width grip, like that. That's a basic push-up. But there's also diamond push-ups where you're pushing up like that. There's hip push-ups where you're pushing from here. There's all different variations, and they all work out the pecs in slightly different ways. The push-up is an incredibly versatile exercise. But let's cover some of the commonalities of good form that apply to all these variations of push-ups.
And yeah, finally there's nutrition, which is an amazingly important factor. I mean, I notice more and more how certain foods make me tired, and it's almost impossible to make like a generalized claim on what you should eat, even though, I mean, some stuff is obvious. You shouldn't eat too much sugar, you shouldn't eat too much wheat and carbs, and the rest kind of depends on what your preferences are. And you should generally eat more real food, like greens, good meats, or no meats, but enough protein and stuff like this. So in any case, I would urge you to look into nutrition as well, even though you think you have it down. It's a bit of a complex topic. You don't have to be perfect at it, and maybe you will have to do like a genetic testing to know exactly what kinds of foods are best for you. But still, I think it's a good time to learn to cook better if you're not a good cook already, and learn a bit more about nutrition and which foods are actually good, because sometimes it's not clear. Is milk good for you? Is salt good for you? Is oil good for you? Are eggs good for you? Is meat good for you? These are all things where we get like controversial and contradicting opinions all the time. And it's good to look at doctors and what science says in this regard. And there's a really good book which I like called What the Hell Should I Eat? Or What the Fuck Should I Eat? By Mark Hyman. He goes through all the foods and says whether it's good or bad. And then he also has some recipes and some very practical ideas, so I like this one. And there's obviously many hundreds other books, but choose a good one, definitely. And yeah, one more thing which is quite important to me, in a way. I just told it to my mother that my family should definitely supplement this. All of you should probably supplement vitamin D. Vitamin D is key for improving your immune system, and especially now against bacteria and viruses. this is one of the best things you can do, and probably closest to some kind of magic pill to saving and improving your immune system. Northern countries like Norway put this into milk already, but in Germany here, almost like 80% of the population doesn't have enough vitamin D. And even if you're outside all of the time, the sun just isn't close enough to you. So if you're above the northern hemisphere, you should take vitamin D supplements all of the year. I'm not a doctor myself, but I watched many videos, also by John Campbell, who, by the way, is a great resource on the virus as well. And this is just something that I researched quite a bit, and I do really hope that you will stay safe and healthy. And what I do is I take daily supplements of vitamin D, about I think 50 micrograms of it. And in case you don't do it already, I would really advise you do this. You do supplement this, because we can't get enough, especially if you're kind of stuck inside and if we're in a northern country where it's kind of cloudy most of the time. Alright, let's talk about unintentional ASMR. I made another compilation of shamanic cleansing rituals, which are called limpia in South America, and I just like them because they're kind of like ASMR rituals. They make these different sounds, they massage the people, they have these different crazy things they blow on you, they have some fire and everything. I think it's kind of nice to notice that people have been doing, like indigenous tribes and older civilizations have been doing kind of ASMR rituals for maybe many hundreds of years. So this is why I want to show you some of these shamanic cleansing rituals. And please note that I also made another compilation beforehand, which you can find on the Best Unintentional ASMR channel.
Mamma ringi mamita, singi mamita, kushi 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 kushi.
Another pretty crazy video was this guy who recorded himself with a body cam in a North Korean supermarket. I didn't know you could go in those, but apparently they have a few stores which are mainly for tourists or for like official occasions, and it's kind of spooky because there's nobody there, and there's like these two cashiers who follow this guy around. I'm not sure what this guy is doing because he's like asking for stuff all the time and he's almost a bit rude, and I wonder if it was staged, but I found it relaxing and also interesting to see their products, and it almost looked like a staged shopping experience, so I want you to check it out. I liked it.
예. 103
예.
203 예. 있습니다. 얼마 하나?
1유로, 1포인 1유로.
하나.
하나에 1포인 1유로.
1포인.
1유로.
두 개.
두 개.
예. 갔습니까?
갔습니다.
예.
통증 그리고
I know you're probably tired of this topic, but there's one doctor talking about the virus, which is now in the news all the time, and its prevention and contagion, has such an amazingly interesting and soft voice that I wanted to show it to you.
You've asked really, I think, the most important question about how to manage the pandemic. How many ventilators do we have? How many ICU beds do we have? How many hospital beds do we have? There are 12,000 hospital beds in Wisconsin. On any given day, 2/3 of those are filled with patients who have other illnesses. We are trying to find ways to make sure that we maximize the open beds so that there's room to accommodate the COVID patients. And one way to do that is to cancel or slow down the rate of doing elective surgeries. If only a small percentage of Wisconsinites are infected with COVID, let's say 5%. We have 6 million people in Wisconsin. That would be 300,000 patients that were infected. If 20% of them need hospitalization, which is about what we know from China and Italy, that's still going to vastly exceed the capacity of our hospital beds. If you've got 4,000 or 5,000 open hospital beds and 30 or 70,000 patients at once who need those beds, we really aren't going to be able to deal with that adequately. And I think that's what you're seeing play out in Italy. So all of the work that we're doing now really is to flatten the curve. We don't need a surge of very ill patients overwhelming the healthcare system. So what we're asking individuals to do and institutions to do is to minimize a rapid spread of the disease. The way that you do that is through social distancing. So you and I are 6 feet apart. That's an appropriate social distancing. We shouldn't be shaking hands with each other. There are other greetings that are perfectly acceptable. You can smile or nod, pat your heart, many other things.
Another quite unusual video is a Russian girl browsing through her sketchbook and explaining everything. I didn't understand a word, but I liked her voice, I liked the browsing, and the quality is terrible, but still I enjoyed it and I wanted to show it to you.
Столб закрой быстро. Так, на первой страничке у меня вот такой вот хомячочек. Он кушает печенку, вот. И она крошится тут. Мне очень нравится, в принципе, этот рисунок. Но на камере он как-то странно выделяется. Но он в реальности, в принципе, яркий. Кроме самого тельца, остальное у него все ярко. Следующий у нас такой пакетик чая. Такая вот черная сердечко и сам пакетик чая серенький. Вот. Такой вот спокойный. И дальше у нас китенок. Он типа выпускает сердечко вместо водички. Он такой миленький, но хвост у него как-то у меня не очень вышел. Вот, и со словом не очень.
Then there's this really interesting guy called Igor Chabayev or something on TikTok. I don't usually go on TikTok, but this video is very cool. He makes these doodles with a pen, and just the scratching sound is pretty nice, and it's just pretty satisfying to look at it, to watch it, and this is why I wanted to show it to you. amazing time making this video and spending this time with you. And I hope there were some things that maybe are interesting or inspiring or relaxing to you. You can reach out to me if you have questions or remarks or just want to talk. And wherever you are in this world, if you're in lockdown or if you're in one of the less affected places in this world, I wish you all the best for your family and yourself, that you're gonna stay healthy and stay healthy. Don't consume too much negative news, sleep enough, eat well, work out a bit, take some vitamin D, reach out to other people, and just do the best you can. I think we will get through this. And maybe if you enjoyed this, consider subscribing and leaving a like. That helps a lot. That has you that people actually watch it. So